And welcome to Creator Toolbox. This is the show that gives you all the tools you need as a ServiceNow developer in your toolbox. And we've got some exciting stuff to show for you today. Just a reminder, we are continuing through our journey through San Diego. San Diego. Reverb on that one. I've got it, but I didn't want to play with it. So I think Brad has the badge today. Yes, he does. So that little badge up there means that the video you are watching is on the San Diego release. So if you watch this sometime in the year, 2035, for example, you'll know when it was released. And you can look back and go, wow, look at how things were in 2022. It was amazing even back then. So let's go on with our introductions. To my left or your right.
Hi, everyone. My name is... we always make fun of that. Hi, everyone. My name is Earl Duque. I am a developer advocate here at ServiceNow. I previously came from higher education with the University of California, but been on the platform for about 5 years, but only with ServiceNow as a dev advocate for about 6 months. But excited to keep learning every time. Every week we learn something new. Brad?
Hey everybody, Brad Tilton. I am a senior developer advocate with the dev program here. I've been developing on the platform for a long time, been an employee for the past 5-ish years, and excited about today's show. I'll pass it down to Brooks.
Oh, Brooks is on mute. There we go.
Classic unmuting. Hi, everyone. I'm Brooks Hawkins. I am a senior product manager on the App Engine Studio team, and I'm responsible for governance and citizen development success. And I'm super excited to show everyone here App Engine Management Center. And I will pass it over to Gina.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gina. I'm a product manager on App Engine Studio. I've been at ServiceNow for 2 years now, and excited to show everyone some of the new features we have in App Engine Studio and how it works with AEMC as well.
Gina's rocking the creator shirt. I love it. And my name is Chuck Tomasi. I'm a senior developer advocate at ServiceNow. I've been using ServiceNow for way too long because I saw the screen layout and I went, let's dot walk to Earl and then to Brad, and we have two related lists.
Bad.
That's where my brain is this morning. It has nowhere else to go. So we do have somewhere else to go. We have some new features in App Engine Studio today, and that's why Gina and Brooks are here today, because they're the experts, and we're just going to sit back with jaws on the ground going, wow, that's awesome. Right? So who wants to go first?
I'll take it over, and then I'll pass it to Brooks. So first off, in San Diego, we have a few new integrations in App Engine Studio. Just to showcase it to you guys, I will create a new app. I'm going to call this Laptop Loaning. That's the spreadsheet I have to play with this app. And I have a cool image.
I like when people include images on their apps.
Yes, it's extra detail.
I spend way too long working on that icon. So I gotta do what you do and just go grab an image. So far, things are looking pretty similar to previous AES, right?
Yes, but lo and behold, if you go to add data here, we not only have the ability to create a table, but now you can also import and map data from an Excel sheet.
So we had that in Rome, but it would just do data sources. So the new thing is Excel imports.
Yes. Yes,
awesome. Because a lot of low coders love their Excel.
Oh, they do. And so I'm going to show that today a little bit. So usually I would create a table and upload from spreadsheet right here. And I'm just going to drag and drop a spreadsheet. Excuse my mess on my recents.
That's why I have a folder called demo data.
And then I'm going to just open this spreadsheet up a little bit.
I think you're sharing just that window. No, you're sharing the full screen. There it is.
Hey, there it is.
Hey, that looks familiar.
And then I will import the spreadsheet data.
You know, back when I was a customer, loading our laptops on Excel would have been a step forward.
And then for the platform field, let's just take a look at this side by side. Oops.
So it figured out the fields and took a pretty good guess at the data types.
Yes. Platform is Troy's. Item is going to be reference.
Yeah. Probably to an asset table of some type.
ALM hardware, if I can find it.
It's in there.
Right here. State is string. Wait, state, we're going to do choice. Date is date. Employee, we're going to reference the employee table, the user table. And I will find it.
I notice on those choice fields, you're not bothering with default value or drop down with none or anything at this point.
Not at all right now, but I will show you something later. Cooler. I'm going to give it a table name. Remember it. Saves me some time.
All those citizen developers that are building that are still maintaining all the processes in Excel sheets now don't have any excuses.
So now
kill them all.
So now that the table is done, I'm going to wait to edit the table. I'm going to click done, and I'm going to go to import and map data.
Oh, so you didn't check that box that said import data on that spreadsheet?
I did. Okay. But I do have another Excel sheet that has just one row of data. It's a new Excel. And I'm going to get started.
It's all that legacy data from 2021.
Yes.
Because, you know, the offices were closed, so nobody needed a loaner laptop.
I'm going to say import more data.
I absolutely love this because it simplifies the whole data source, import set, transform map thing. Just, it's gorgeous.
For sure, for sure. And then when you edit data import, you can start mapping. Now, I just want to remind everyone what the data table looks like. So I'm going to have that open right here. It will take a nice second because this is a demo, and demos are never nice to me. And then if I click on preview, I can see that there's this one row of data from this initial Excel sheet that I had. But this is the Excel sheet I want to continue to load in.
Oh, I had them backwards. I thought you imported the one.
Sorry. Did I present it backwards?
No, that's okay.
Yeah. So
we understand. They both have the same headers and whatnot, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, they are backwards. Okay, got it.
So I have this one. It only has one record. I'm going to import more data. So I'm going to do File, Excel. And then this other file is called Loaner Laptop 2022 Dev Demo. I'm going to drag and drop it. Super easy. And then the first row, the first sheet is the data. And then the first row is the header.
Can those default to 1 and 1?
I can make a request.
I've never seen a spreadsheet with a row 0.
Let's see what happens, actually.
I mean, developers count starting at 0.
Well,
that is true.
If you're used to okay, I'll play devil's advocate on this. If you're used to Excel and you think of it as freeze rows and stuff like that, you would drag that line to 0.
I have a feeling here that this defaults to 1 and 1. Like
yeah, because it figured it out.
I figured it out.
And I think I've done this on another instance with 1 and 1, and it still works. So kudos to the Java programmer.
Oh, for sure.
If it's 0, add 1.
And now that I have the data source loaded, I'm going to go to map to target. The PM for data imports can do a much better job. I am learning in progress here with you guys. So I'm going to target this Excel to the table that I just created, which is called Laptop Loaner. Right here. Just going to make sure it is the right table. Just check properties. Got it. And then save. And voila, I have the source created. If I click into it, I can start mapping it. So the table already has these fields. I can just drag and drop the mapping. would be nice to have some, AI in here that maps it for me, but I don't mind this drag and drop. It's actually quite empowering.
Ooh, we could re-employ the old match fields thing from the old days. There's also a data pill picker on the right of each field if you choose,
Yes.
which is nice when you have more of a hierarchical structure. But this is pretty cool.
Yes. I'm gonna
We
leave the
have-
number field empty.
We have transforms on each of those data pills, which is good.
Right.
And note that we have a match field. You might remember from if you've done transform mapping and field matching and whatnot, it was called coalesce. Same principle appears here. So if you start flipping these on, this is what tells the system, should I insert a new record or should I update an existing record? And I would say Gina is doing absolutely fine, because if somebody has a duplicate record in that spreadsheet, which is likely because spreadsheets are prone to human error, and said this same person had the same laptop on the same date, but they had a different laptop, for example, you could do matching to that. All conditions must be true to update an existing record. Otherwise, it's going to create a new record. So a lot of times you just do this on one.
Let's play with that, actually.
Oh, you are. No, don't turn number off. Turn number off. You never match number. You'll never match number.
Oh, yes, I will turn that off. I'm just going to insert this
Okay.
right here. Save this. I probably have to reload the Excel sheet. So hold on 1 second. Trigger. No, keep working. I will save it first just to create the data import.
You can reload.
And then turn off number. Save it so I don't forget. Go back here. Select the source again. I wish I could reload, but it doesn't seem like it. So just to be safe, I will do it again. I wonder if it'll...
I've never taken this path before. We're going to find out.
I wonder what it will do.
We like exploring on this show. Okay.
Oh,
Same structure.
Same structure. Okay. All right. And then I turn number off, right? I did. Okay.
Yep.
And then schedule import. I'm just gonna click this button and see what happens.
Yeah, it's a spreadsheet. It's not like you're going to be importing this nightly.
Right. And
It's
then
a one-time thing.
refresh it. Take a
I
look.
love this screen.
121 rows are loaded.
I love this screen.
Yeah. The problem is, now that I come here, I will refresh this table.
You want to know a faster way? Just click the filter on the breadcrumbs and say all. It'll refresh just the list.
Okay. Thank
Learned
you.
that from a solution consultant as he was loading data. He was just silently clicking that thing. It's like, hey, there's more records. Hey, is this a live list? You didn't even see him clicking the all.
If I sort by employees,
Nice.
right here, I can actually go find myself, which is the record.
Did you get in here?
And there's only one record. There's only one record, even though I had loaded this record first and then loaded it again with a spreadsheet that included this record. It only has one record.
Very nice.
And also this table now has 121 rows where it only had one row before the data import. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the data import on your tables.
Yay.
Love that feature. But wait, there's more.
There is more. So we talked about data importing into the table. Now let's take a look at, I'm going to close a few tabs. Let's take a look at the table itself. So previous to San Diego, we had this table fields view for you to kind of start changing up your table. But now look what we have here, form view and policies and rules.
Oh,
In this form view, we can actually build forms against the table. It comes with a default view, and you can create additional views. Great job to all the product teams who did this. It's, I think, my favorite product right now on the platform. So.
Oh, I am totally digging this. It's like weaned me off Form Designer permanently already.
So I'll show you guys a few things. Everyone, you can call out features that you want me to kind of click around and just showcase. But here's a number field. I like to be organized, so I'm going to put this in check in and check out at the same column, so I can drag and drop. The state should be at the top, very readable. I'm gonna add a new section actually to kind of go into the details about what was loaned.
I'm sorry, that drag and drop was so fast. I'm so proud.
He took a drink, and by the time he lowered his cup, it was done.
I'm so proud of how fast that drag and drop was.
This is live, so for sure it is really fast. So 2 sections in what? That was 20 seconds.
So Gina, is this like before where if you took the label off a section, it would just be a continuous form, but if you put a label on, it would start doing tabs?
I have to see. I am unsure how to answer that question. I apologize.
I would expect it to, if it's still using the same table structure and whatnot, the rendering on the
Yeah, I would
platform
bet it-
UI anyway would be the same.
I'd bet it'd be the same too.
I'm going to preview it.
Okay. Now this is preview in a workspace, but notice there's also
Open in form and platform.
open in platform. You can do both. I absolutely love that button. Okay, so this is the same behavior. It's doing the same thing.
Awesome. And then I will exit out of this by going back here. And then I just want to show you guys some other cool stuff. Add a related field. I can do this. I can give more information on an employee. I'm going to drag it into here, a dot walk modal. And then I can take a look at the email address and add to view. Okay, I'll try that again. Maybe I didn't drag it into the right position.
And go.
It was working.
I saw it refresh. Something happened.
Yeah, might be the instance. Apologize.
Well, this instance does have the word dev in it. Oh, there we go.
There we go. So it got added. And then for state, if you guys remembered, it was a choice field. So I can also have a configuration on the right that configures each and every field. And for things that are references, I can edit the choice. I can get rid of the none by switching between drop down with none, and suggestions. You can choose drop down.
Now, something I learned, if you take that none out, you must supply a default value or it will reappear.
Yes, right here. Use dynamic default.
Or no, not necessarily a dynamic, but if you wanted it to be requested as the default,
right,
you'd put that in there. Dynamic defaults are awesome too. I mean, look at all the stuff that's in here that you don't get in Form Designer. You can put a reference qualifier on the employee to say active equals true, for example.
Right.
There's so many good things here.
I know. That's why I'm ditching Form Designer right now.
So let's do that actually. Reference qualifier right here. Edit conditions. We can do users. Sorry.
It was already in there. It was looking at it already. Just active is true.
Yes, active is true. And then done. And save. And then when we preview it, you can see that this is defaulted requested. If you drop it down, there's no none. And then for users, employee here. Well, I can't really show that they're active.
Yeah, I don't know. You
No.
show missing data. You have to show it beforehand, but that's okay.
Yes.
I mean, and you may have to explain something like a reference qualifier to your low-code users, but
Yes.
that's trivial. They're
Actually,
probably going to discover it and go, why is Abraham Lincoln still in the list? He died in 1864.
for sure.
I just love that form elements tab too with the displayed hierarchy of what's displayed. It's so good. So good.
Yes. One more thing I want to show here is the section. Annotation. You can add an annotation quite easily. Our MacBook Pros are on low supply, so MacBook.
Phil asked a great question. He said, is this set up only for the form/view or does it save to the dictionary? Like the reference qualifier, for example.
I don't know off the top of my head right now, but we can check.
I can answer it. It's at the dictionary.
Yeah, it would have to save to the dictionary, right?
Yep. Now, it doesn't address things like dictionary overrides. So that's a little deeper that I don't expect low coders to understand yet.
It looks like Corey's answering this question for us.
Awesome. Thank you, Corey.
It's doing both. Like when Gina added a reference qualifier, that changed the reference qualifier on the field. Yep. Really, there's UI policies in here. There's
Yes.
just so much cool stuff.
You can add UI policies, and this is cool. They put in this explanation, which really helps people understand the difference between all of these cool things.
And
So
business rules. Business rules are finally in AES. Look at that.
Business rules are here.
I'm not cheering about business rules, but I'm just happy that you can maintain what's already there.
For sure. All right. So that was forms in table, and then data imports for the table. And then we can scroll. I'll talk a little bit about the other thing that we integrated, which is Decision Builder. So after you've added data, you've added your experiences, you now have not just the option to add flows, but you can also build decision tables, which will make your flows even more powerful. So
shout out to our last episode of Live Coding Happy Hour. Feel free to check it out on our channel.
Yes.
Nice
I'm not going to dive too deep into this, but I'll just show you guys how to create it. Decisions on when to loan a laptop.
Yeah, because Julia needs a job.
Didn't she do this already? Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Twice.
So I'll just show that it opens up in App Engine Studio and it's available for use. And it is so slick.
Data-driven design, kids. Data-driven design. Did you want to, before you turn it over to Brooks, did you want to talk about the thing that's coming up in the store release 2?
I do. I was thinking, because I don't have that instance logged in at the moment, it's not on this instance yet. I'll pass it to Brooks, and then I'll give everyone a sneak peek of that new feature coming in.
Oh, better lineup. Yes. Let's hold the carrot out for what's in the future till the end.
Cool. Before I pass it to Brooks, I do want to have a nice transition here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now ask one of my developers to finish off this application. So I'm going to add someone. I'm going to add Readers and Mark. I'm going to add Mark. And then I'm going to add him as owner. And Mark is going to finish this application for me. So I'm going to click send. And then if I check back here, his invitation is pending. And so he hasn't been added to this app. But if now I go to the production instance where we have App Engine Management Center, and I refresh this, I can see that there is now a collaboration request coming from this application.
Witchcraft, I say.
Witchcraft. And these are two instances. This is a dev, this is a prod. And here it is. This is my request for Mark to be added to the laptop loaning. All I have to do is approve it. And then once I approve it, I go back to home. And this should go away very soon if I click refresh. And then here, if I refresh this, Mark has been added as a collaborator, and Mark can log in, continue to finish the laptop loaning application.
So to be clear, you made the request in the dev instance, and then it created an approval in the prod instance for people to approve.
Yes, and then once the approval was done, dev instance is more powerful now with Mark on it.
That's cool.
So then with that, I will ask Brooks to take over to talk a little bit more about this witchcraft right here.
Awesome. Thanks, Sheena. All right. So I have another showing of App Engine Management Center, and I have already added some data to it so we can go through all the cool new features that are coming with App Engine Management Center. So if you're familiar with AES, there's 3 types of requests. We have the intake application, service catalog request, collaboration request, which Gina just went over, and then deployment requests. So I went ahead and submitted a intake application request for Adela. And down here is all the details about the marketing request app that she wants to build. And there's a new feature for app intake that is going to automatically add Adela to the AES user group in development. So if I had multiple development instances, I could choose which instance I wanted to add Adela to. In this case, I just have one instance, so I can show you here. So this is the dev instance. Let me show you our App Engine Studio user group currently that Adela is not part of. So I'm going to go ahead and approve her request to build a marketing request app. So that flow is going to run for a second. And then while we're waiting for that to run, as Gina showed, the collaboration requests are now in production instead of development. And they are here in App Engine Management Center. Get all the details about who requested, who they're inviting to their app. If the person that's being invited already has the AES role, this would be auto-approved. But in our case, Andrew does not have an AES user role, so I can go ahead and approve him to be a developer here.
Brooks, can you make the font just a little larger?
Sure. How's that?
Much
That's
better.
good.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh App Engine Management Center. Both those requests are now 0, but let's see. And there's Adela is now part of our AES user group in dev. So she can go ahead and get started. She'll receive an email telling her that she has access to AES now and she can start building.
That's cool. That's such nice management.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, so automating as much as possible for the admins, giving them that control, but making their job a little bit easier. And then the cool part, the really cool part about AMC is the pipelines feature and being able to visually track your deployments through these visual pipelines. So in this case, I have 2 deployment requests that are open. And I'm going to go ahead and view this deployment pipeline here. And customers can create as many pipelines as they want, with as many instances in those pipelines as they want. And all those pipelines will show up here on the pipeline page and the home page. So I have 2 open instances. Two open requests. One request is in development and ready to go to test. One's in test, ready to go to production. And then I have one that's already been approved and is closed and published to production. So let's start with our events tracker. So again, you have this visual pipeline, so you know where you are in the process. And all the information that was released in December with the new pipelines and deployments is available here in AEMC. So everything about the app, the requester, the pipeline, where did this request come from? In our activity stream, we can take a look at the app manifest and see what types of files are in the app.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so lots of information, these new deployment requests, and then I can go ahead and approve that to go to test because that looks good to me. And while that flow is running in the background, we're going to open our HR performance review app, which is already in test. So it already went through development and it's the exact same request. We just have regenerated the approvals. So in this case, we have Able Tutor and System Admin as approvers in our App Engine Admins group. And so Able Tutor approved it to go to test. And now we have regenerated new approval requests. And that is going to the whole App Engine Admin group to approve to, in this case, go to production. And since this is a testing environment, we ran some ATF test suites and instant scan checks. So those results are written to the activity stream. And then we also have them written to this deployment environment results table on the deployment request. So I can go quickly see, all right, no errors. My one test case that I have in here was successful. So I think this looks good. And I can go ahead and approve it to go to production. And if I now go home, let's see if some of these flows finish running. Nope, this one's still running because it's running ATF tests.
Of course.
Yeah, so, but once all those flows are running, this would go back to 0. It would move to test. And then once this one's done running, that production count would go up to 2. And that you have 2 successful production deployments.
Are there any plans for scheduled approvals, or so that you can time it to like change requests or release nights and stuff?
Yeah, that's a big request, and that's something we are talking about. I don't have a timeline yet, but that's definitely on our radar. My previous role was at a customer as an IT admin, so I know about those production deployment windows, and I don't want to be, on my Saturday night having to get in here and click approve.
Hey, it's better than doing all the other the work behind the approve button, though.
That's true.
Brooks is good. It's too real. I can fix this.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that's still running, but this is App Engine Management Center. First look.
It's so cool to see this kind of stuff happening now because it's in the newer interface. It's in a workspace, and because it was what year was it? Like 2 years ago. It was like the cool thing to make an app management in production app, and there was a tons of them were showing up on Share. But now here's the a product that actually does it for you and shows it across AES and shows it across deployment and has all these automated stuff. It looks great now.
Where was this when I was a customer back in the aughts? Lisa's asking, can you configure the approval groups? For example, have a different group to approve the deployment to production?
That is also a big request. Again, that's probably on the same lines with the scheduled deployments to production.
Okay.
We don't have a timeline yet, but it's definitely on our radar. I know, right, like as an admin, you might be concerned with the QA piece, but you want someone else to approve UAT. And so having those different groups is definitely something we're looking at.
Awesome. Trying to see if there's any other questions. Don't see that. I think it's back to you, Gina. You're on mute. She's on mute.
I am on mute.
I'm going to share your screen again. Okay.
All right. So I am on an internal instance right now, and I'm just going to give you guys a sneak peek of what's coming in SDS2. Notifications. We can add them now. Email notifications is going to come up in the SDS2 store.
I am so happy for this.
Yay. Yay.
So this is a subset of the feature that's available on the platform. When you click into it, it allows a developer to directly create an email notification. So this is not a meeting invite. It doesn't send any push notifications, but it does create an email quite nicely. So I'm just going to go through some of the fields. I'm on a different application, but I'll continue the journey that we started. Loaner laptop approved, something like that. And then we have the triggered section with some really nice content. How do you want this email notification to be sent? And I'm just gonna, for the purpose of this demo, I'm gonna click on the incident table. But usually you would choose a table in your custom app, which I didn't have set up appropriately here on this internal instance yet.
And go pull down that list of when to trigger again.
Oh yeah, I should do that.
So there's a couple of options in here, and this should look very familiar to anyone who's set up a notification in the notifications table. That instead of just saying triggered, it now says when triggered via a flow action. That's exactly what it's doing. So if you anticipate needing to trigger this from a flow, you'd take that second to last option and then use the send notification action in flow, not send email. So this keeps all of your notifications in one place in that notifications table, whether they're triggered from events or flows or record updates.
Right.
This is like home base. And now that it's in AES, I'm just ecstatic. I'm almost speechless, but that's rare.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Chuck. I'm going to go with the common option today, but this is definitely cool. This is definitely cool. But when this is selected, you can choose a table that will get, when a record is created to that table or updated, you get a notification. You can further query your data table. Condition builder is added here. So we can say active is true. And then here are two ways to add recipients. The first way is to add it from a dynamic field that is in the table, so that each record has a different name, a different user or group associated to it. So you can add. We're working on making this list a little bit more user-friendly, but right now it's a full field list of the table. But you can search by, opened or created by, and you can say the person who created gets a notification, for example. You can also add static users and groups from directly the sys user and sys group table. So Able Tutor has a Twitter account, so I might as well use him, Able Tutor. And then this is where the cool part is. You can select the email template to begin your email message.
Actually, before you go to that part, can I ask a question about the recipients?
Yeah.
So you said created by, and so that's not a reference. That's just a username. That works?
Let me see. I believe if, let me create this first. Let me preview it.
Preview.
It is my understanding that if the created by field is filled in, then it will grab the email on the created by username. So let me change this to updated by, so we can see if it works.
Yeah, those are just going to be first dot last or whatever the username login name is.
Yeah.
No, that's great though, because that's not a reference field. It knows to intelligently grab the user record.
Yeah, let me choose this one.
Is that what you're seeing? I saw just Michelle dot whatever, and okay, if it's an email address that would work, but if it's just Chuck.Tomasi, it can't send that email.
Right.
If the username is an email address, it would work. If it's not, then it doesn't know.
Right.
So that's expected behavior then.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Thank you for clarifying that. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I got excited for a new feature. Sorry.
Make a note of that.
You never know. The notifications team sneaks stuff in like that all the time.
I know. So this is based on the notification framework. Let me see if caller.email adds. So this is a system admin added by caller.email, I believe. Here. So that one I dot walked to the email field. So it has to be an email field. Like the content has to be email. And then for email template, I can start from something. And scroll, go here, request template. And then what it does is it gives me a preview of the email template. If anyone's worked on the platform notification, you would know that you'll probably click a button here to view the record, but here we'll just kind of show you right away what it looks like.
So check over on the right where it says override template.
Now, what do you guys think it will do?
I know, because you showed me yesterday. It like copies the content of the template in here, and now it's yours.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then you can further this by making it more personalized. Record created, updated
And there's a variable editor or variable picker on the bottom.
I can add the number.
So low coders don't have to start learning dollar curly brace stuff.
And
It always puts in the label.
yeah. Close, save, and then I can preview.
Hello, man, HHH. That's cool.
It's dynamic with the record. So I think I have to fix this mail script thing. But yeah. Sneak peek.
Nice.
If I click here, it'll take me to the incident as well. If you added it properly. So
That's awesome.
awesome. And so that's all I have.
Awesome.
Back to you, Chuck.
We have a question from Phil. He says, I guess the template still stays attached to pull the email layout in for consistent styling, but the content of the template is localized?
Yes, absolutely.
Localized is stored locally on the notification, not localization.
Yes. If I, let me go back. That's a really good question. Dismiss all. Let me close this actually. If I then get rid of this template, this is localized. If I save that, then the layout won't be there anymore. Well, actually,
Hard to tell. I don't know if there's layout attached to the template.
I have to take a look at the template itself. If I remove everything here, then nothing is going on here. So,
oh, right. The layout probably would have had the default subscribe and or unsubscribe and what's the other one on there? Preferences.
yeah. Sweet.
I like how there's 7 of them and you just know it's the last one.
I like that the do you want to preview it comes up right after you save, because every time I update a notification, you probably should look at the preview.
Yes. Goodness.
I enjoy the "this is fine" dog, by the way.
Yeah, everything's on fire.
It looks like the layout came from the mail scripts. So, yeah. Maybe I think I have to check out if this template has, because it's an internal, it's been a while to check out if this has a layout on it. But the layout does apply if I leave the email template as is, even if I localize the subject and email message. Yeah. Cool. Sorry, I don't have a demo ready for that use case. Good question.
And that's what's hot in AES San Diego stuff. That was good stuff. Thank you, Gina and Brooks. And apparently by Brooks' background, she's playing at the Laugh Lounge on Tuesday nights. It's open mic night. I couldn't resist.
Yeah, come on by. I'll be there. I'll be there tonight.
If you're a server. So that takes us to any announcements, gentlemen.
Just like we always say every week, make sure to follow along with our San Diego content. If you go to devlink.sn/San Diego, you will see this episode along with all of the other content that we've been doing regarding San Diego themed by the week, along with any relevant blog posts to go into more deeper dives for each of these things, if it calls for it, including our upcoming shows. We're starting to approach the finish line of our San Diego content, which is wild because I've been thinking San Diego this for months now. So tune into those things. Brad, do you have others?
Yeah, Knowledge is coming up. Sign up for Knowledge. Add the CreatorCon checkbox when you sign up for Knowledge.
Always add that box. Never ignore it.
We've got New York and The Hague on May 11th and 12th. 2 weeks later is Sydney and Vegas. So decide where you're going, how you're going to get there. You're likely to see one of us 3 characters.
And our extended team too.
Lots of good stuff there. It's going to be so nice to be in person again. So looking forward to that. And wow, we've got some other fun stuff coming up in April. As our San Diego content comes to a close in the next couple of weeks, we do have some fun things planned before we get to Knowledge. So we'll announce those later. Until then, everybody, please stay safe. Take care. I'm going to play the music. We're going to wave. And everybody have a good time.